It's 6:29 right now, so we got a lot.
I'd like to call to order the regular scheduled meeting for Tuesday, February 22nd at 6:30 p.m.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Schmelzer.
Anthony? Katie?
Here.
Chuck?
Here.
Tim?
Here.
Shane?
Here. Items from board members. Noted on there, letter from Ottawa Hills High School. I don't know. I think it was emailed out. Just wanted to read it. Thought it was a very nice letter sent by Ottawa Hills local schools after a basketball game. It's Andrew, on behalf of everyone here at Ottawa Hills, I want to say thank you for how your team let Henry score a basket. He has been the manager for 4 years and never missed a practice. So coach wanted to try and get him in the game and let him score alone. Almost every parent came up to me to say how classy that was. Please thank your players, coaches, and fans for that, because you did not have to do it. You made his night and a memory for him that will last a lifetime. Thanks again, Tammy Talmadge, the athletic administrator at Ottawa Hills. Very highly of our athletes in our school and our coaches. Anything else from board members? I had one more note. I just want to thank our AD and our administration team for following the weather very closely. We've had some situations, maybe school didn't have to be canceled, but they watched it closely and monitored it, and in the end made the right call for the safety of our students, fans, and staff. So I just want to thank them for doing that. Nothing else, we'll go to the introduction of guests and public participation. Cassidy, you're up.
Thanks for coming, Cassidy.
Yeah.
She's doing a STEM presentation.
Yeah, so I'm doing the STEM honors portfolio and the STEM honors diploma through our graduation. So I had to take 5 credits of math, 5 credits of science, 2 more credits of another STEM degree, 2 years of 2 foreign languages, and do internship over at Pioneer Industrial Systems. And throughout that internship, I got to learn a lot about all the different types of engineering. And I got to specifically work on the robotic engineering side and work on the RMV, which is their road maintenance vehicle that they have patented. And they're working on programming a robot to the cameras in it and making it so the robot can fill in all the seams in the road, which is usually a 12-man job on the road. And there's 4 people just standing there, like, so they can rotate with their arms because it's so heavy to lift everything. So making it the robotic job, there's only 2 people doing it now, the driver and 1 person filling stuff in on the back. So that was really cool to do. And I got to hands-on work on that and program some of it. So that was really fun. And I got to work on the mechanical engineering, which when you get to the back of my portfolio, you'll see some of my actual CAD drawings that I did throughout my CAD class I took at Northwest.
Which you absolutely loved, correct? CAD was not her thing.
Yes.
Engineering is not my thing. I learned that throughout the process.
But that's part of the intern thing, excuse me for speaking for you, but That's part of one of the things that comes out, that will come out of the internship. You either love it, and that's what you're going into, or you find out, oops, maybe not.
Mhm.
And it's in a safe environment and a protected environment. So what are you going into?
Teaching.
So I was,
Excellent.
I'll stand, please.
That was along the help of a lot of our teachers here at North Central pushed me into teaching. So
Good.
And you're playing volleyball?
volleyball and track acquisition. Yep. And then I'm doing education focused with a math minor. So hopefully I can have more of a STEM focused classroom. And do a lot of the problem solving in the younger grades.
Very nice job. Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
You were an ambassador for our school district. Nice that you come and talk to the board and the people here at the meeting.
As you were flipping something.
And let them see.
Thank you. Anybody else tonight wish to participate? Yeah. Had to think about that,
He didn't ask us, he just told us.
right?
You said honor diploma. I want to ask what you-
It's a STEM honors diploma.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Just that way I can put it in minutes. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody got any other questions for her on that?
She can leave that, I'll get it for her.
Yeah, you-
I promised her she could fill that out.
Okay. yeah. Good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cassidy.
Thanks.
All right. Now there's public participation. We'll move on to the public hearing on the following issue. We have the school calendar for 2022-2023 school year. Members of the public are invited to provide input to the board on the following issues. School calendar for 2022-2023. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each, and all public comment will be closed after 30 minutes. A sign-up sheet will be used if necessary to determine the order in which persons will address the board.
Well, you want me to go, let me go over what the calendar is. There's 4 things that we cover on the calendar. One of these meetings. Number 1 is how many hours are in the year, which is 1,063.44. Number 2 is the hours in the instructional hours in a day, which is 6 hours and 20 minutes. Number 3 would be the first day of instruction would be August 17th, 2022. And the last day of school would be May 25th, 2023 on the calendar choice number 1. So it's option 1.
Any comments on the calendar? We'll move on to Mr. Smelter, treasurer's report.
Item A, we have minutes from our January 10th, 2022 organizational and regular meeting, and also our February 15th, 2022 special meeting. Item B, financial statements and investments from January. You have all the reports that are in your packet every month. Item C, approve appropriation additions as follows. 2 amounts for the general fund. We have supplies and materials, $89,740.54. Capital outlay, $105,028.80 for a total of $194,769.34. That was the general fund. Other funds, you can see all those listed, and a total of other funds of $189,354.95. Item D, this is one of the 2 times per year that we'll get a resolution from the Budget Commission, and the board approves your attached resolution that's in there, accepting the amounts and rates that they have set and authorizing the necessary tax levies, and that we can certify them to the county auditor. Sometimes that is in there. Sometimes the millages will change. This time there was no changes made to it, so it's the same as the previous one, so nothing has changed on that. And then the last thing, I will start here in the next few weeks, start working on the 5-year forecast. The next couple of months, get that finalized, and then we'll have that for approval at the May meeting. We do that in October and May of every year, so I'll get that finalized, and that'll be on the agenda for May. So just want to mention that that would be coming up soon. That's all I had listed there, unless there's any questions about any of the reports that were in there, or if you had any other questions.
I will need a motion to approve the minutes from the January 10th organizational meeting and the February 15th special meeting. Financial statements and investments from January. Approve appropriation additions as follows. Supplies and materials, $89,740.54. Capital outlay, $105,028.80 for a total general fund of $194,769.34. Other funds, permanent improvement, $5,750. Other grant, $250. District agency, $308.39. Miscellaneous state grant, $45.01. ESSER, $163,963.58. Title I, $10,164. Title IV, $1,295. And Title II-A, $7,642.33 for a total of $189,354.95. And to approve the attached resolution, accepting the amounts and rates as determined by Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor for the 22-23 school year. I need a resolution to approve the treasurer's report as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Comments? Questions? Roll call.
Katie,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yep.
Tim,
Yes.
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes. Administrators report, Mr. Hank.
We'll start off our enrollment as of this past Friday, February 18th was 611. 1 year ago on March 12th of 21, it was 601. Students from that point. We have calamity days. We've had 5 calamity days so far this year. We're still good with our hours. So I want to update the board on that. Our last calamity day would have been February 4th. We had some bad weather that hit in there. We had 3 days in a row. COVID-19 update as of today. Just as a reminder, 2021, which was last year, there were 22 students and 32 staff for the year. As of today, 2022, we've had 64 students, 16 staff for 109 school days. If we have 160 roughly, that would be about 94 students and 23 staff. Projected out. Right now in the elementary, there's been 31 students. Junior high has been 33. That's the total of 64, and we've had 16 staff so far. Next thing, Neola, our policy people do updates, and you have your Neola updates right here. What this is I want to make sure that you look over all these. If you have questions between now and then, next month is when we would approve the updated policies. There's a cheat sheet on the front that goes through the policies. And then you can obviously read through all of them if you so choose. So enjoy the reading. Reminder, there's a special meeting on Thursday, starting at 9 o'clock right here in the Eagle Room for the purpose of interviewing superintendent candidates. So that's just a reminder to you guys. And then the next regular meeting is March 15th at 6:30 in the Eagle Room. And also I wanted to congratulate Shane Martin. We got a letter from the OSBA. Congratulations on behalf of the executive committee of the Northwest region. He's had 15 years of service as a school board member. We want to thank him for his dedication, years of service, and it reflects a true commitment to public education and the importance of your role on the Board of Education. There is a conference, Northwest Region Spring Conference on March 24th in Findlay, and I'll get with you if that's something that you would like to attend. But I want to congratulate you and thank you for your service, and appreciated working with you for my 5th year. Enjoy it. Thank you. That's all I have. Unless anybody has anything.
Congratulations, Shane, 15 years. Quite an accomplishment. Not quite Palmer's, but. No. All right, thank you, Mr. Hannick. Next, we would like to go into an executive session for the express purpose of discussing personnel. Motion to go into executive session. Do I have a second?
I will.
Chuck? Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Chuck,
Yep.
Tim,
Yes.
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Katie.
Yes.
Over to them.
Whatever. I'll do.
I'll back you. Appreciate that. Just like at Liberty.
Right.
Yeah, just like at Liberty.
Good old days. Yeah. All right, we gotta do a return to regular session.
Yep.
I got 7.
You don't have to like mow or anything, but yeah, just, you say 7, right on the number?
7 over. Principals and athletic director reports. Mr. Moore, you're up.
Okay, good evening, everyone. 2 updates from the elementary building. I'm gonna start with January 28th. That was a Friday, a busy Friday in the district. Busy Friday in the elementary building. I want to touch on some of those things. That Friday, we had Basketball Jones in for our assembly. It's always a hit with Basketball Jones. Very talented, gifted individual with tricks and so on and so forth. We have competitions with students, competitions with staff. But, his message is also be the best that you can be. It all starts with you, first and foremost. Sports are important and all these other things, but it always starts with you. And after the assembly, talking with some students and how was the assembly? Oh, we loved it. The spin of the ball and the dribble and the teachers coming down, all that. I said, well, don't forget the message of being the best you can be. That's where it all starts. But the teachers enjoy it. We enjoy it. He does a wonderful job, but it was a great way to start that Friday morning. I stuck around from the middle school, high school. They were also involved with assembly as well. And I thought her kids really enjoyed it. The staff was down there again doing activities. So again, all in all, a nice way to start that Friday morning. Also on that day, it ended a little fundraiser that we had with our 5th and 6th grade and our teachers. And just doing some things for the community or county. We donated to the Williams County Humane Society and we collected $220. And we're going to be donating that, taking that over hopefully tomorrow or Thursday to the Humane Society. And also the students brought in some supplies, dog food, that type of thing. So just a little community outreach type thing. We've done that in the past with Mary Smith. So we talked as a 5th and 6th grade teams and, hey, let's do something for the Humane Society. So I was real happy with the donations. And like I said, I'll get that over to them. We took a picture, Travis took a picture. I know the Humane Society, when I talked to them, they said, give me a picture of the students and we'll put it on our website saying, hey, thanks to our central schools for donating. So they were gonna post that to their webpage. Also, that was homecoming week, festivities, things in Marcia's building mainly, but I spoke to our new mascot, Big E, and Big E's like, look, when I wrap things up, I'd really like to, if we have time, go down and say hi to our first graders, second graders, that type of thing. So when he was done and with the high school students, we went through preschool, I think through 2nd grade. He just popped in, said hello, gave some high fives, gave some hugs, and the little ones just, you know, they just love that. So it was nice that Big E came down and said hi to the students. And finally on that Friday, we had a 5th and 6th grade dance after the basketball game. We played Fayette that night. So we started the dance at 8:45 and it timed up just about perfectly. The game got over with 8:45. Students were down there. Tony Denstedt was ready to go. So it all worked out. It ended at 10:15 and the kids really had a nice time. We had some parents chaperone the event. Then some staff members, the 5th and 6th grade teachers popped in that night, said hello, hung out with kids a little bit. So all in all, I think it was a real nice night. And they had a good time. The parents were all there at 10:15, picked everybody out. So it was just it was a good day. It was a busy day from 7:45, 8 o'clock, all the way to 11 o'clock at night. But all in all, a real good day on that Friday. Our 4th graders recently took a test for the Department of Education out of Washington, the federal government. We were selected, and this happens occasionally where 4th graders are selected to take a reading test and a math test. So our 4th graders took that last week, and basically they'll use that data information and just look at our students, our results here in Ohio versus 4th graders in Nebraska or Tennessee or that type of thing. So we participated in that last week. The folks that came and proctored the test, they said our students worked hard, cooperated, listened. Our teachers were very helpful. They said went extremely well. Mrs. Renford did a wonderful job getting things set up. So all in all, they were very pleased with our 4th graders. But again, that's federal data. So they're going to look at that and again, do some comparisons and that type of thing. Williams County Spelling Bee was a few weeks ago. 5th grader Rachel Sparks participated along with 8th grader Carter Eckley. And I'm glad Lindsay's here tonight. But Riley Walker was sick that day. So I talked to Kendra Smeltzer and I said, is Riley here tonight? No, Riley's not here. So our alternate is Carter. So I said, could you please call Lindsay and see if Carter can be there tonight and participate? So she said, sure, no problem. So Carter, it was real nice of Carter to come as our alternate and participate. You know, we didn't win or we didn't have the, you know, the winner from the spelling bee, but great experience and talking to Rachel. She wants to get back next year. She's just, I want to get back to the spelling bee next year. So all in all, great little experience. And again, thanks for Carter to step up that night for us. Also, I'm going to mention Mrs. Blum, 3rd grade teacher, Miss Ely, 3rd grade teacher. I know Mr. Hutchison has his game night, but we also in the elementary, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, where we have a game night and we do it after school on Wednesdays for about 45 minutes. We have anywhere from 8 to 10, 12 kids. Stick around, but it's more of the games that I grew up on and Tim grew up on, Monopoly, Yahtzee, those types of things. So it's the strategy, the history, that type of thing. But the big thing they stress is the math component of it. So they just stick around after school, play some games with the kids, and they get released right around 3:45 or so. So they've been doing that for now a couple of years, but I think that's very, very nice of them to stick around and share that time with the students and work on some of those games, just how to play the game and the rules and the expectations. So it's real nice of Kendra and Amanda to do that. And finally, I want to mention kindergarten registration. It's scheduled for the 27th and 28th of April. So we've advertised, put out little flyers. Julie's getting phone calls. Spoke to her Thursday, 25, 26. I know she had a couple today, so I'm thinking right around 27, 28 right now registered. Typically, it's anywhere from 40 to 50. when it's all said and done, right before registration. So that's coming up in April 27th, 28th. Any questions?
Thank you. Rosemary.
That 28th was an awesome day because we not only did basketball games come to the elementary, we had talked last year, I think it was, about expanding it to the junior high and high school. And I had never seen the guy, so I wasn't sure what the junior high and high school kids are a little different. They receive things a little differently than the elementary. They loved it. And I was so proud of those kids. They got into it. They were having fun, which was the goal. But again, the message was just fantastic. So I'm thinking that's going to be an ongoing type of thing because the kids loved it. Now that was in the morning. That afternoon was homecoming games, whatever you call it, like at 1:30-ish to the end of the day. So the kids that day were playing most of the day. They were having a lot of fun doing things outside of sitting at a desk studying. They were doing some other things, which was great. And then we had the homecoming dance on Saturday. Very, very well attended. A lot of people there, and it was fantastic because kids are all really, really well behaved. It was fun. So that all went well. And that's not on my report, but it was great. We had a professional development day on Friday, so we didn't do the value added part, but we did get into some more of the STEM things. And so there's a CAP, it's called CAP, but it's an organization that they can join and they can get free stuff. So several of my teachers are going to join that. And we can, there was a very slight charge, but we can do it through ESSER funds, basically. But they get a lot of free stuff like robotics, drones, things that the kids can build and do. And that was the point of that. So they were pretty excited about it. Blood drive was the week before. It was, they had a goal, 21 pints, and they made 22. So we reached the goal. That's put on by the National Honor Society. So that's a good thing. Yeah, it says we had several meetings with parents. That's a total lie. We canceled them, but we had a lot of phone calls. We didn't have face-to-face, but we had the phone calls and the emails to contact all those parents. So that was good. All county band and choir was just this last Sunday on the, whatever that date was, but it was just Sunday. It was so much fun. It's neat to watch our kids. And we didn't have, we're probably at 8 to 9 in each ensemble. But when you get from all Williams County, you get them all together, they have one day of practice. And they come together and it sounds unbelievable. It's just so cool to listen to them. And they're so proud. I was very proud of the kids. So they had a junior high band, they had high school band, and they had high school choir. And it was fantastic. It's at Stryker, so it was really, really good. On March the 7th, coming up very shortly, is the Franklin B. Walter. We have one candidate going. The school is, kids apply. I think we had 4 maybe. And then there's a committee that chooses the best of the 4. And then they go to this banquet. We don't know who's going to win, but they are guaranteed some money from the Franklin B. Walter. So I plan on going on that February the 7th. Andy was talking about game night. We still have game night. Do you remember when we did that table game thing with Sam? We still do that. I walked by there tonight and I sounded like a lot of kids. I don't know exactly how many, but there were a lot of kids in there. So we still do that table game thing. It's carried on all year. He talked about a dance. Our dance for junior high is on the 18th, which is the day before spring break. And we do it during the school day for the junior high. That way, every junior high student participates. You don't have to worry about a parent driving in, coming to get them, whatever. Every junior high student is allowed to participate It starts around 1:30 and it ends by 2:30 approximately, 2:50, something like that, so they can get out and get on the bus. We started that a couple years ago. It's really worked out well for the students. They love it. Junior high played tag more than they dance. But you know, it's fun. It's all good. I want to talk just 2 seconds. I want to remind you that in your packet, there's a thing on the 8th grade reward trip. We are doing that this year. The date is May the 13th. So that's coming up. I just wanted you, that stone lab that we've done, in the past, we haven't done for 2 years because of COVID. So it's back. It's one of the things that the kids look forward to. So that's back. And you have that information in your packet. Of course, commencement, it's on there too. We'll get there. Junior high rewards trip, they have another one. This is a homework type of thing for 7th and 8th graders. They went skating a couple weeks ago, and this one is the Mud Hens game. I don't have a date. Well, I do. It's May 25th. I know when it is. I just don't know who's going for sure yet. Questions?
Thank you. Mr. Mickey. Athletic update.
We got a lot, so I'm gonna try to speed here, so if I'm going too fast, you have questions, let me know. First of all, we're going over the records, the winter sports season's wrapping up for us here. So boys basketball, who was gonna win a couple weeks ago over Montpelier, actually won a share of the BBC League title. The JV team finished their season recently against Ottawa Hills. They finished with an awesome regular season. 18-3, 7-0 in the league, so they were BBC champs. The JV was. That was really, really cool. 8th grade had a really good season. They were 11-6, and then the 7th grade actually was undefeated and won the BBC tournament. So they're going to be commended at the next board meeting for doing that. As far as the girls, the varsity girls were 11-10, but they were 5-2 in BBC play. So that was 3rd place in the league. JV girls fought like heck this season. I mean, they had low numbers. They battled. A lot of the games were 2-quarter games, so that the girls could get the experience. But they were still 7-10 and 4-3 in the BBC because of the low number. We had 11 total girls in the girls basketball program. So the JV girls going 4-3 in BBC. I think that's pretty good. Junior high, struggled with the record a little bit, but towards the end of the season, they were competitive in the tournament play. So that was a mark of lots of improvement as the season went on. We both had 4 wins throughout the season. So to finish the way they did, I think that's to be commended. As far as indoor track, we've been having pretty solid participation. 4 runners in the last meet. I know Carter's been doing well. I think he's in contention for state tournament, correct? Which is top. How many qualify? How many out here? Doug Taylor, our indoor track is like 10 times. And
I feel like 24 is the right
I
number.
think so. I know he's in there.
He's sitting in 14.
And there's some other kids even ahead of him that are running unaffiliated. So to qualify for the state tournament, you have to be affiliated. So he might even be higher than that. So it's looking like Carter might qualify for state, which is awesome. As young as he is to be qualified for that and running as well as he is, do really, really good things. So we're getting good participation there. At this point, after the totals from league standings for basketball, we are currently 5 points in first place for the all sports trophy. We have 36 points. The pedestal in second place has 31, well, 36.5. The pedestal in second has 31.5. So we're 5 points in the lead for the all sports trophy with softball, baseball, boys track and girls track to still be tabulated. So with successful spring sports season, we could bring that home for the first time since the 80s. I couldn't get an exact year of anybody, but it was very much before I was around. So. I wasn't here in the 80s. I was 3 years old. But we're hoping to be competitive there and bring home that all sports trophy for the first time in a long time. We'll just say a long time. So that's really, really exciting. At next month's board meeting, we're going to recognize all of our winter sports athletes that won league honors from our all league first team, second team, honorable mentions, our league champions, the 7th grade varsity boys. Also, our 1,000-point scorers. We had a girl set the all-time scoring record. And her season just concluded, so we didn't have anything ready for her for this board meeting. Our varsity boys are still playing, so we're going to hold off on the March meeting. Just letting you guys know we're going to be recognizing a lot of our student athletes at next month's board meeting. Got everything. And finally, talk about my resignation. I submitted my resignation, Mr. Hannon. Remember when I did that, Mr. It's a couple weeks ago now at least, regarding my role as athletic director. I do wish to stay on as PE, so I don't plan to go anywhere, just FYI. It was my decision that I just couldn't sacrifice so much time away from my family. And it's nothing against anybody here. I've had an absolute ball doing this job. It's a lot of fun working with our kids and working with the administration here. I've learned a ton from Mr. Hannon, from Mrs. Roseving, and Dr. Roseving, excuse me. But I've learned a ton, and it's been a great year. It's just so much time away from my children. There've been multiple weeks where I've only seen my daughters one time with, I wake up and I leave to come here before they're awake, and I'm home after they're already in bed, and that's just not tenable for me, so I'm gonna go back to coaching football. That's what I'm passionate about. But again, I'm very grateful for all the support. I could not imagine I've done this year even alone without Kendra Smeltzer. She's been awesome, and Ken Hutchison. They both do an absolute ton for me without any other credit. So I couldn't be more appreciative of everything they do. They both work tirelessly and get none of the credit, so thanks to them, and I appreciate everybody for the support this year.
Thank you, and thank you for a great year. I think you've done a nice job as AD. Really stood out, and put the best foot forward, and I've heard a lot of great comments. So it's much appreciated, everything you've done for the school. Alrighty. Next up, we got the recommendations by the superintendent. First will be a TransFinder contract, software license, and hosting agreement. To approve the contractual agreement between the TransFinder and North Central Local School Districts for the purchase of bus routing software. Attachment was in your packet. I need a motion to approve this purchase. Tim, yeah, with the motion, I need a second. I'll second that. Questions, comments? Roll call, Mr. Shelter?
Tim,
Yes.
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Chuck.
Yes.
Personnel recommendations by the superintendent. We have administrative contract, a resolution to extend the administrative contract of Eric Moreland, the building and ground supervisor, for 4 years, starting August 3rd of 2023 and going to July 31st, 2027. Do I have a motion? Motion by Shane. Do I have a second? Second by Tim. Questions, comments? Roll call, Mr. Schmelter.
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Chuck.
I can. And I'd like to say why. It's nothing personal. I just haven't been here long enough. This is my second meeting in this room. I can't find it in myself to give 4 more years on top of the 1.5 years that you still have. So I just want you to understand that.
So it's a no.
It's under.
Thank you.
Tim,
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have the administrative contract, resolution to extend the administrative contract of Andy Moore, the elementary principal, for 4 years, starting August 1st, 2023 to July 31st, 2027. Do I have a motion? Katie with the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Okay.
Shane with the second. Questions, comments on that? Roll call, Mr. Schmelzer?
Anthony,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Chuck,
No.
Tim,
Yes.
Shane.
Yes.
Next is another administrative contract, a resolution to extend the administrative contract of Dr. Marcia Roservink, junior high school principal, for 4 years, starting August 1st, 2023 to July 31st, 2027. May I have a motion?
I will.
Motion made by Katie. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Seconded by Tim. Questions, comments? Roll call, Mr. Smelter.
Katie,
Yes.
Chuck,
No.
Tim,
Yes.
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes. Next, I have junior class advisor, ED number 59. Need to approve a one-year supplemental contract for Ryan Burt as junior class advisor, ED number 59 for the 2021-2022 school year. May I have a motion? Shane, may I have a second?
I will.
Chuck? Questions, comments? Roll call?
Chuck,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Katie.
Abstain.
Next, we move to consent agenda. Employments pending records. We have Lindsay Eckley as a van driver. One-year supplemental contracts held by classified employees. Macy Wilson for a volunteer softball coach. We need to accept the resignation of Brooke Hireman, high school science instructor, effective June 30th, 2022. And accept the resignation of Andrew Mickey, ED number 1, athletic director. Next up is the NWOESC teacher and paraprofessional substitute list dated January 26, 2022. The membership in the Ohio High School Athletic Association for grades 7 through 12 for the 22-23 school year. We need to approve an overnight trip for the baseball team, March 18th through the 19th, 2022, going to Hillsborough, Ohio. We have the 8th grade reward trip to the Stone Laboratory, May 13th, 2022. And the NWOET contract for 2022-2023 for educational technology at a total cost of $6,500. This is a 2-year membership and includes 100 hours of district services. May I have a motion?
I'll move.
A second?
I will.
Katie, questions, comments?
I do have one question. When is Mr. Mickey's, like it has Brooks' date effective by June 30th? When is yours?
End of the contract.
It'll be
I'm not-
July
I'm not sure when
31st.
Exactly that is. I know I started last year sometime in June, I started coming to stuff.
He's gonna help until the other person knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was like a actual date that,
Technically, the
TBD.
June 30th is the last date of.
For the ED.
okay,
He's not resigning his teaching position.
Right.
It's an ED, and then we'll all get non-renewed. Once the April meeting, we'll do that. So
okay.
I'm assuming he'll help until figure it out. I'm hoping, right?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because football will start.
Right.
All right,
Any other questions or comments on all that? Roll call, Mr. Smelter?
Tim,
Yes.
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Katie,
yes.
Chuck.
Yep.
Now we'll be moving into an executive session, for the purpose of discussing personnel, negotiations and confidential matters as required by federal state law, as well as employment. Do I have a motion to go into executive session? Tim, do I have a second?
Yeah.
Shane? Roll call?
Shane,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yep.
Tim.
Yes.
7:27. And there will be no action taken.
No action.